The following podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up now using the URL audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choosing. We recommend Brick by Brick, How Lego Rewrote the Rules of Innovation and Conquered the Global Toy Industry. You may recognize this as one of the sources we use in our show, Bionicle Autopsy. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/TTV. Enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync. Hey everybody, I'm Messina.
I'm Bardaran.
I'm LJ.
And I'm Kahi.
And welcome to TTV Talks.
Man, am I last again? After all this time.
That is
Kahi, back to being at the end of the line.
What is wrong with you?
Many things. What specifically are we talking about?
This is, like, I don't remember the last TTV Talks you were in. Well, I guess you were in... Were you in last week's?
No, he wasn't in last week.
Not in last
okay,
week.
so I can even
think
give you
the
that.
last
All
one
right.
that I was in was, well, I don't even know myself.
Good job.
I just...
It was in November. I was in one in November. But
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
not uncommonly in this.
But it's just like you're always in the chat when we do TTV Talks, but you're never on TTV Talks.
It's because the topics don't fit for me.
I mean, but like, what about all the times where we don't have a topic and I'm like, hey, so who's on so we can come up with a topic, and like no one helps us out? Or you're there like saying, oh, but you can have Viper on and you can do this, but you don't ever put yourself
Sometimes
in.
I'm in the chat for like a moment, and I know I can't commit to like a 40-minute audio session.
Well,
Okay,
sometimes
what are you
suck,
doing
dude.
instead of being on TTV Talks?
School, sometimes.
Wow, I think that's the first time he's given a solid answer when we've confronted him on recording.
TTV Talks time, sometimes it is school.
But wait,
Because
I mean,
like it's that time of day, and like since I like take my classes online, I can like type, but I can't like talk on mic.
but you can do that
Listening to
also
something.
like later, right?
Yeah, good.
I mean,
But I prefer to get my stuff done early. But yeah, I can
so,
always rearrange.
why are you getting your stuff early? So you can talk to us not on TTV Talks later that night? You just want to get out of work, is that's what I'm getting. You don't want to do work that day. You're like, no, I want to talk to you guys.
Preluding the TTV
later.
roast that's coming soon.
Listen,
Yeah,
I
save
used
it
to
for
be
the roast,
homeschooled.
yeah.
I used to be homeschooled, and what I would do is I would get all my stuff done on Friday, and then that would be it.
Sure, Kai.
Well,
whatever you say,
I'm
man.
not you, amigo.
You non-socialized heathen.
Oh man.
Listen,
Wow.
when we do TTV Talks, the TTV roast, we'll get this all out of our systems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is coming, by the way. Should we announce that date? Can we?
Soon, alongside Biocraft and On Air
Kai,
also coming
don't
soon.
you understand by now? Unless it's a recap review, we never announce the date for something.
No, but we actually have a date for this.
We actually do have a date for this. It's the live stream, so we should tell people when it's going to be.
It's going to be Friday the 1st.
Friday the
it'll be-
1st,
it'll be New Year's Day.
This will be. It's not going to be a New Year's Day special, by the way. We're going to have a special podcast that's going to be released, I believe, the 4th.
I didn't know that.
Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Monday the 4th.
we literally decided it when you weren't here like half an hour ago.
Yeah. So
Oh,
we
wow.
are
Because
going
like
to be
it just
doing.
so happens that New Year's Day is also Friday, which
Right.
is typically when TTV Talks get released. So
Yep.
like it's perfect.
So,
So
yeah.
that
We're doing our
also
TTV
means
Talks roast on Friday the 1st.
The public doesn't know this yet. I'm going to be the first to announce it. I got to be first, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, are you announcing what I think you're about to announce? Are we ready to
No.
announce that?
No, of course not. Why would I ever do that, Var? Okay.
That's what I was
See, now I'm
thinking. I was
confused.
thinking-
Now I don't know
Yeah.
what you're
Now I'm like,
announcing.
What are you talking about? Just say.
No, don't say it. Put it in the chat, and we can say yes or no.
We'll
Well,
bleep
should
it
announce
Okay,
out.
it.
listen.
See,
It's
I-
confirmed.
I was
So let's
making-
just go ahead and announce it.
Okay.
I was,
All right.
no,
fair
wait.
enough.
I was just making a dumb joke. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you kidding me? We actually have something to announce.
Well,
we
Jay, we have
don't know what
plenty
we're
of
talking
things
about.
to
How many
announce.
things you want to announce? What are you talking about?
I was joking. I was going to leak the information online that we were going to be holding a live stream on the 1st.
But that's not leaked.
You suck.
That's not a leak. We've already announced it.
We just announced that.
Well, yeah, on
That's
the
not a leak.
recording, but I mean, I was going to do it while we're recording this. So, like,
Wait, like on the boards?
yes.
What? Why?
You're awful.
That was the worst joke / segue ever.
Yeah, it's like we actually
LJ,
have
how
important
dare
Yeah,
stuff
we
you
to
actually
talk
have an
about.
announcement.
Yeah.
Wait.
Ugh.
Oh, boy. We have so many things
The
we
leak-
want to announce. I'm just...
I'm not sure. Should we announce it, guys? Let's just go ahead and
Let's just do it. Let's
We,
do it.
we may as
Wait
well.
until like
There are a lot of shades of gray to this.
Yeah,
And as
I'm
we
sure
go
there are going to
into
be a lot of
this-
opinions regarding this too. So
I'm just gonna say this straight up before we even say what this is. That due to the scheduling of this video, by the time this is out on YouTube, you all will know what it is,
Right.
Because we're already gonna make a video
Right.
about it, and we're already gonna
there will be an
unveil the
announcement
curtain.
posted on the channel before this video is live on YouTube. However,
But for the people watching this on Vessel,
Yeah, our
you get
Vessel.
a little sneak peek. And I'm also gonna say that when we go into this, we fully understand that there will be a lot of opinions that may disagree with our decision. And this is a very multifaceted issue. There's a lot of takes you can have for this, but we've given it a lot of thought over the last couple months, and we firmly believe that this is the right decision for TTV to take in the future. And we hope you'll agree, but if you don't, that's perfectly fine.
Some people
Just know
definitely
that some people definitely will not, but we are going to remain steadfast in our decision. You will not be able to sway us
Right.
or change our minds.
There's one person who's able
we've
to
committed
sway
to
us,
this.
and they have a @lego.com address and an email. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure.
So-
I mean, like, I guess we'll regret our decisions in like 5 years from now, and when
Yeah,
TV,
I know,
like,
but-
in the garbage, and like we're like, oh, we shouldn't have done that.
we should,
Oh.
yeah, nah, it's okay.
Maybe,
No,
but-
Only then will
far-
we regret our decisions.
No, listen. I have we honestly we have had this discussion behind the scenes for the good part.
It's
of the
been a
last
big
year.
debate. It's
we
been a
have
big
been
debate.
we have been considering this for the entirety of this year, and arriving at the decision that we have now was definitely not done lightly, especially since a lot of our business model, a lot of our things, kind of depended on it. But
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be a little hard to really explain everything that went into this mindset, all the decisions based on this, because like
we'll do the best we can.
yeah, we'll do the best we can, because like we have like you mentioned, we have been discussing this very
heavily.
heatedly for like 2 years basically.
right.
Var, you're the boss man. Do you want to
Boss.
talk about this, or would you rather
Oh,
I
I'm
do
kind
it?
of scared now. Oh man. Okay, listen, guys. Here's the deal. I don't even know how to say it.
Here,
I can do it.
I'm
Want me to do it?
I
I'll rip
wanna
the
do
Band-Aid off.
We are no longer reporting on leaks, confidential leaks given out by Lego. We are no
What?
longer reporting on that. We are no longer
What?
allowing.
Unsubscribe.
We are no longer.
we are not going to prohibit the discussion of leaked images on our message boards.
only
We are
Apple,
making
guys.
the
That's true, that's
conscious
true, that's true.
decision
Yeah.
to stop reporting on confidential imagery on our channel, as well as we are not going to allow the posting of confidential images on our message boards at board.ttvpodcast.com. However, for this moment, until such a time in the future where LEGO may contact us and ask otherwise, we will still be allowing the discussion of leaked images in both the comments section and the TTV message boards, so long as you don't post the images themselves.
Question, Meso.
Yes.
But does this mean that you guys won't be reporting on leaked information at all? Even if, even like just the word of them being out there?
Yes.
No.
That is exactly
And
what
yes.
that means.
It means
No and yes. It's it's complex.
stuff of confidential, like stuff marked confidential that comes from Lego, that is off the table now.
Yes.
We will no longer
There are
be
multiple
talking about
types of leaks, and that is something that a person should understand as we begin to get into our rationale for this decision. Leaks, typically, in the LEGO community, come in the form of, like Kai is saying, confidential images with watermarks that
Right.
say, like, copyright LEGO, this is such and such a year. But, as we have seen over the years, there's other things. Like, for example, last year, there was a document that got leaked that had some, like, exclusive info for BIONICLE. There are also sometimes finalized imagery that gets leaked, quote unquote, by which it means it is not released through an official LEGO source, but there's no watermarks on it. We're going to be handling
Well, there's also a
each
third type,
situation.
and that is like images that are hosted by Lego on Lego servers that people have found by URL guessing that are not officially released yet. Or,
Yeah,
stuff
that's
that,
also true.
Like in the end, this year, we got a leak of the 2016 sets, and I believe it was a trailer or a video that Lego had
yeah,
made.
LEGO had it in a video.
Right, and they had it,
posted.
and they put it up, and people were able to take it from that. We also
And
got
then last year,
finalized images.
Gatanui from
by
Gatanui
URL
from Busy
guessing.
Power found the Mask of Creation
Yeah.
on Lego's server.
Right.
Yep.
when it wasn't supposed to be released yet. So I'm going to clarify this right now. The types of leaks that we are cutting down on are going to be the confidential imagery, as well as documentation or information that is highly suspect and very clear that LEGO does not want this getting out.
Especially, you probably remember this if you followed our channel during the 2015 hype. We did have that Okoto Turning Dark document that was released on our boards last year from highly suspect. And that is definitely something we will not be allowing going forward.
It's a clear-cut case. There's no gray area with that. That was something which was an internal document, not for even the public to ever see.
Right.
And it was something that someone got their hands on somehow and posted on our message boards. That's not going to happen. However, stuff like URL guessing if it's on LEGO's server, stuff like finalized imagery that may get posted by a shop site or found online somewhere that maybe LEGO didn't authorize, but it's finalized. We will still be reporting on those and allowing posting of those.
Basically, if it doesn't have a confidential mark, you should be in the clear.
The confidential mark is the de facto thing that tells you, no, this is not acceptable to post.
Right.
Now, Var, Meso, Kahi, what about PMs?
Listen,
PMs,
we don't monitor PMs.
Yeah, we don't moderate PMs. You don't monitor PMs. If you do want to go through and do stuff in PMs, that's mostly your business. We don't. If a PM is reported,
we're not going to encourage you to do that because you're still uploading illegal images to our website. So if you actually respect our legal safety, I would recommend you don't do that. And if you want us to continue making videos, I would recommend you don't do that. But with that said, we don't moderate PMs, so we have no real control over that.
There is one stipulation. If that PM is flagged for any given reason, and we are inadvertently, because of that flag, brought in, all cards are off the table.
That is the risk you will be doing. So if you're sending it to someone on our boards through PM and they flag it, we will definitely be taking administrative action against that.
Right.
Yep.
So you have to kind of play.
I would just recommend not posting them in the PMs.
Oh, okay, and right before we get
that's probably the safest bet for you and for us.
Right before we get into the reasons why we're doing it and more stuff, I think we should clarify first off, right before anything, because this recently happened with Project M. It's a Smash Bros. That discontinued. People were wondering if that project got a cease and desist, and it was a huge theory of people were saying that they got sent a letter, by Nintendo's lawyers to shut down their project. So I want to clear this up right now. We have not gotten a cease and desist from the LEGO company. LEGO has
we also haven't heard one bit, nobody from LEGO has even contacted us about this issue.
Yeah, no one has contacted us, said anything about this issue. They've been very gracious so far. I do know that, we went to New York Comic Con and we some of the employees there, did comment on our channel and our podcast. So at some point they were looking at what we were doing, and they just haven't.
They've likely seen that there were leaks posted on it.
Right. But they've likely seen it, but we haven't.
Nobody's ever said anything to us about it.
That's not the reason why we're doing this per se. That's not like the main reason why.
There are a billion reasons
there
why we are.
are a multitude of them, and when they all added up, it became like a decision that we felt we had to make. All of them combined. Which one were you guys wanting to go into
Where do you
first?
want to start, guys?
Yeah, I once again, I just want to clarify, we were probably not going to be able to cover all the reasons why we're doing this. This has been a 2-year discussion, so we're going to try and do our best to explain it.
Well, this is but one video of many that I'm sure we'll be talking about.
Right.
I would hope that people would kind of understand it by just saying, oh yeah, we're not going to post on leaks. I would hope that most people would be like, okay, I can kind of see why you wouldn't do that, although I'm unhappy about it. But we should explain it.
Let's talk about, let's see.
I think a good place to start would be I know VAR led into this with an autopsy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of covered what leaks are and the definition of leaking, quote unquote, in the BIONICLE community and the effect it has on a lot of people.
Right.
But I think it would also be a good point to note kind of the history of leaks over the last couple of years and where they tend to come from and the effect they have on things, just a general restatement. And do you, people that may not have seen that video. Do you want to do that, Var?
Oh boy. Okay. Summarize my entire autopsy.
For one, go watch Autopsy now if you haven't already.
Yeah, I would recommend watching
just go and watch that. It's one of our most popular videos. People love it. You'll like it too if you're interested in, looking why we're doing this. But go watch that.
It basically just goes into a bunch of the psychology behind what drives us to really want to do leaks and that kind of thing. But basically, there's a lot of reason, like, for whatever reason in the Bionicle community, we put, like, a lot of value on leaked images, leaked information we're not supposed to have. And because of that, we devote a lot of our time, a bit more than we probably should, on these images. I know, like, Meso, you, for example, you're notorious.
You're a monster.
Spending hours.
I got a lot to say about this.
Looking for leaks.
I got a lot to say about this because the people that know me probably think this is like a great personal hit to like my whole state of being. But I'll get
Meso,
to that.
we're effectively killing highly suspect, so.
Basically.
Yeah,
yes.
we're murdering highly
Rest
suspect.
in peace.
In an alleyway.
Yeah, but I'll get to me later.
So we put a lot of value on it. It's I guess probably not the greatest thing to do within our community, especially when, like, for this year, for example, like, fake images start happening and people go nuts over these, like, obviously, like, I mean, to us, obviously fake images. But, like, there's a lot of people who just simply can't tell the difference between, like, what is a fake leak and a real leak, and it's really easy to be tricked. Talking Master of Light and the Bullrock ones, I think, were the most prevalent.
The ghost,
I'll tell you right
the ghost
now that,
ones
like,
too.
There's a
the ghost
long
leaks.
list of reasons why we're no longer doing this with leaks, but I'll tell you the straw that broke the camel's back was definitely the plethora of fake leaks during the 2016 leak season.
Yeah.
Everybody was leading up to that, and it was just endless stuff being posted on our message boards,
It was
ranging from
constant fake
completely ludicrous and blatantly fake to the stuff that actually tricked a lot of people. And people kept spamming us with messages to report on this.
Yeah, and
one notorious person claimed to have access to a catalog, and he spent about 4 days posting on Eurobricks and the TTV Message Boards with this elaborate fake scheme that he ended up just saying, oh yeah, it was a joke.
And it's stupid. It's really frustrating because not only does it waste the members' times who are out there, you know, like, constantly spending, like, their hours just looking at these things, whatever, but it wastes our time, too. Really annoying.
Yeah.
Because we have to moderate this stuff. We have to make sure, this is, you know, this isn't fake, so we can keep that here, or this is fake, we need to protect our members from these faked images so they don't get all upset.
We had to, like, amend our leak policy and, like, put something in place to where you weren't allowed to talk about anything unless we cleared it. Because, like, not to brag about it, but, like, we have a pretty good track record when it comes to reporting on correct leaks.
Not to brag about
we
it,
just
but
said,
we're
like,
flawless.
Screen it by us. We are flawless. Just, like, screen it by us, and then you can post it on the message boards. But, like, even that wasn't the best solution. It was just, like,
and then we just got spammed with messages about reporting on fake leaks too, like, that were clearly fake. They were like, so you guys ever gonna, like, report on those Bullrock leaks? Come on, guys. I thought you guys were news. And we're like, they're not. It's not news. It's not.
See,
some guy posted on 4chan
thing.
and he said that Umarak the Destroyer looks like a demon. Will you report on this?
See, that's the sad
No!
thing too. These obviously fake images or fake information, people buy it, and that's what's terrible. That's why this is such a detrimental thing.
Yeah, at least in, like, the eyes of the community, it's just like it's annoying, it's frustrating, and it's kind of sad, and it just really takes away from actual discussion that could be had on, like, real information that we've actually gotten. It's annoying for us to have to moderate the stupidity that goes on.
It's already bad enough because the leak season, you got into this in the autopsy, the leak seasons are timed right when the new sets come out. So, the new sets come out, people will talk about them for like a couple days, and then it's into, oh wait, it's time to go hunt for the next pictures.
Right,
exactly. That's how it was for 2015.
It's bad enough when it's actual info taking away from discussion. When it's fake info, that's even worse.
Right. The summer villains had just come out, and instead of talking about that, people were like, "Oh my God, Bullrock are coming back! What? Like,
Taka Master of Light."
I think that's
like,
definitely the most frustrating reason why we had to get rid of leaks.
Yes,
that's definitely the most, like, just personally really annoying aspect of leaks that I just don't like.
Right.
And I'm completely guilty of it too. The new sets come out and I enjoy them for a little while, but like, it's the leak season, and like you mentioned in the autopsy, everybody has that drive to get the information first because knowledge is power. Me specifically, I will hunt for weeks on end, combing through the most obscure sites possible, because I don't have any friends who like own a Lego shop.
You don't have any
just
friends.
stop there. Just stop there.
I can't
I don't
go
have
to
any
some
friends.
guy.
That's why you're doing this.
Wow. I can't go to some toy shop like some of these people do and be like, hey, can I look at the catalog so I can go online and post my insider info? I'm just an average dude. So I'll go crazy looking on online shop sites and I'd forget about the current stuff. Like, the 2016 leak season started, the animations were still ongoing, the sets had just come out, the book was coming out, there was a ton of Bionicle news to talk about, but no, everybody gets fascinated with what's coming next, and they forget about what they're actually supposed to be enjoying right now.
And plus, like,
it's very detrimental.
Another thing, like, to add to that, Messer, one of the reasons why, I know that you're one of those people that has a friend that runs a little toy store, because you have access to a decent camera. How many times have we gotten leaks, and they're terrible? They're like, the first Bionicle 2015 leak we got was literally a black and white photo. Who takes a black and white What? Are you kidding me? We have phones. We have phones.
What had happened was he printed it out, but the printer was out of ink.
Freaking record video. 4K video. Okay? Forget, like, color. I'm talking about 4K. How have we always gotten leaks that are terrible? The thing about the leaks is that not only do they take away from discussion, they take away from enjoyment of the sets, in the long term. We're not talking about the sets anymore, we're talking about these leaks. But they also, they don't give us an accurate representation of what these sets are going to be like.
The first 2016 leaks were cropped pictures on 4chan where the camera was at a tilt.
Right.
And the colors
you heard our opinions on the podcast if you watch us.
Exactly.
You heard our opinions completely shift from the first time we saw the leaks to when they actually, when real high-def pictures have started coming out. It's completely superfluous to even try to just have a discussion on leaked images, especially the ones we got. They didn't tell us anything. Told us nothing.
Okay, one of the things that happened recently to us, too, and it was the huge reason, me and Meso had not an argument, we had to do a kind of, back and forth about it beforehand, is that we were going to talk about some of the leaked images in I think that came out in the catalog. They're recently slightly higher def, and Meso wanted to talk about it in the podcast, and I was like, I don't want to get into the color discussion and the part discussion. What part is this? I can barely see this. Can you see this? This. I think I see a gear behind this person, and it might have gears this year. And what happened is that we recorded it and we put it up online. By the time it came out on YouTube, we already had finalized HD renders from Lego's own servers. And so that entire discussion, entire episode was basically meaningless by the time we recorded it and put it up online.
It's a waste of time.
It was just a huge waste of time.
And the community.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Not only was it a waste of time,
whole discussion.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Not only was it a waste of time because, the images were just simply outdated and nobody was talking about it anymore, but the sets changed. Notably changed.
Yep.
And it made our discussion completely irrelevant, not only time-wise, but factually wrong.
Right. And we would argue about stuff that's no longer relevant.
That's what really bugs me about 2016 in particular. This was kind of the catalyst, because I'll be honest, up till we've been discussing this for, again, all this year, I was on the fence when we first were do we want to do this? Because I could see the merit behind stopping reporting on leaks, but at the same time it was such a staple of our channel, I didn't really want to get rid of it. But when the 2016 pictures came out, and we discussed them on the podcast, and we loved them. We were like, these are the best sets, these are improvements over 2015 in every single way. They're great, they're awesome, and then we get the finalized pictures, and people like the sets, but nobody loves these sets. They're all pretty controversial, they're all pretty poorly received, to be honest, in the community to some degree. That episode we did months ago, I feel like I wasted 2 hours of my time.
Well, I mean, also, and
I feel like anybody that stumbles upon that on YouTube nowadays is a lot of our episodes, it's fun to go back and listen to them. That episode sucks. There's nothing of value. It's untrue.
That's also the thing, too. They dates our episodes in a way that isn't timeless. For instance, our opinions on the actual sets are always going to be relevant in that way. If you look for the set, you want to hear our opinions on 2016 beforehand, that's all right. But our opinions on the leaks are not relevant from the moment those sets comes out. They are completely, they're nobody cares about what we have to say about the pictures that the leaks are coming out. That immediately dates what we're talking about. It's immediately irrelevant.
Because, it's also the picture quality we spoke about, too. We don't get great HD images of every angle. If these were prototype discussions, and we said, okay, we get these amazing high-definition prototype renders, that's fine, because we can discuss, okay, the set's changed in this way, and then the final versions it's this way. I would have preferred it this way, but when you discuss leaks, it's hard to tell what was actually changed, or what was so poor quality you just couldn't see it.
Right,
For instance,
exactly.
the other night, we were nostalgically looking at the 2016 leaks, and they were Pohatu, he looks better in the leaks. And I was like, but Pohatu is exactly the same in the leaks. And they said, well, the colors are darker. Because the photo was darker. So he looks better.
He did.
And I was like, huh. That
He did
makes
look better.
sense.
He looked better.
That makes sense. And it also is sad in a way. Because it was literally just
Yeah, and you know what?
photography tricking.
And you know what else is sad? The freaking theories that are created out of these stupid images that were never even meant to be public to begin with. Like the freaking Matanui, island on the mask.
That's
like
so-
all that
don't
time we
even go there.
wasted going over that theory of like, oh my god, maybe G1 and G2 are connected because Matanui's there. Oh boy. It didn't matter.
Like,
it wasn't,
for all
it
we
wasn't
know,
there.
we don't know anything.
We
A
could
lot
have
of
actually
it
had
could still be in
meaningful
the story.
discussion. We could have had a meaningful discussion about whether or not there was a connection there because of the Nuva symbols instead of the obviously not supposed to be there island of Matanui on a poster that later got re-released without it.
Right.
Yeah, and like, because it was leaked, and we discussed it when it was leaked, we have no clue. There's so many theories about that. There's like, well, maybe it is actually supposed to be there, and maybe it will be in the story. Who knows? And Lego just took it out because they don't want to spoil the plot threads. Or, there's the common theory that's probably true, is that somebody literally just photoshopped that in there to troll the community. Somebody got a hold of the leaked photo and, like, edited it before they released it.
Also possible.
How are we supposed to know?
No clue.
We don't know.
Doesn't
'cause
matter.
It's leaked.
It's a leaked picture. It doesn't matter. It's just stupid. Leak culture frustrates me in our community.
Right.
Very frustrating.
Every year I've loved it, and this year it's been a negative.
Well, because
story.
alright,
There's
there's
no
several things to
upsides.
happen. This is
It's because
again,
we're invested now,
right.
I think.
There's a thing that,
It's actually-
going forward, there's problems with us and there's problems also with the community. And we know this because this is the first time in our history that we've also ran a community alongside leak season coming out.
This is true.
This is
very
beforehand.
true.
I mean, it's
Before
easy
we
Last
part
year,
of
when you're
when we started the message boards, like the 2015 leaks had already been circulating. for a
right,
good
exactly.
while.
And
Yeah.
everybody was in the Bionicle returning hype. Everyone was just talking about how it would be. There's still relevant discussion going on this. This is the first time we've been on a normal wave year in charge of our own community. On the message boards and elsewhere. And so we've seen firsthand in a way that we really didn't before. And I think it's way worse now than it ever was, like back on BZ Power or back,
See,
when
I
we were
can
just
tell
members.
you from
going around
memory,
doing that kind of
the
thing.
last time this was a big deal. Like the last
SARS?
time leaks were an absolute just a pill to deal with was 2008. As the last time we got a large amount of leaks that were frustrating because we got, as far as I can recall, 2 sets of them. We got the leaks for the Fantoka Toa and the Fantoka Makuta, and then Takanuva as a leak as well. And those came out shortly before the catalog images, and everyone was like super stoked because A, they believed them, and B, there were some actual like identifiable similarities between them, like Liwa especially. Well, then the leaks came out, the catalog images, and everyone was so disappointed. Because Liwa, the last time we'd seen him was in 2002, and he was this bright, vibrant green, and the lime green, and the weapons, and it's all cool. Now he's gray and green, gray and lime. Everyone was like, oh no. So
What
not
happened
only
to
do
the other leaked images? It looked
See,
great in that other picture.
Exactly. The leaks give us a sense of hope and then yanks it away when our expectations, which have been prior built up, are broken down due to the actual images. Like Pohatu.
Pretty much. Like Pohatu, and also personally, I can't speak for everybody, but it's the same with me and Liwa. Because everybody thought Liwa was like the best set ever, looking at the pictures, because he had a mask that worked with his build, and he was so cool and streamlined, and then the set comes out, and he's like super awkward. Like, it's...
Yeah.
Well, that's one aspect.
Yeah, that's one
the
aspect.
community.
Well, yeah, the
aspect.
community and also us. Like that, it
That
affected
personal,
the community,
yeah, our
Yeah, there's
and
personal
it also
aspect.
affected us personally. There's
Because, like, I'll tell you this, we're not ignorant of the fact. Let's not pretend here. We got a lot of our popularity by riding off the Bionicle 2015
Absolutely.
returning leak hype.
Absolutely, yeah.
And we participated in it every step of the way.
right.
So
We're-
just because we're here bashing leaks, we're also kind of, we can take a step back and realize, we were part of the problem. But it also must be said that we are recognizing that that is the case. And we are going to take steps to correct that.
right.
Because leaks, they're not just detrimental to the community. this is a unique perspective that we have, but leaks, they're commonly frowned upon by some people because of their negative impact on LEGO. And that was something that VAR also got into in the autopsy, by showing a bunch of funny-looking bootlegs of BIONICLE 2015.
Oh my gosh, I remember.
Which were really hilarious.
VAR, do you remember that bootleg galley?
Oh my God, Gary, Master of Water!
Gary.
Master of Water. It's totally.
Gary! That was my favorite bootleg ever.
Yeah.
So
The
funny.
earlier the catalog images leak, the more time LEGO's bootleg knockoff competitors, quote unquote, have the time to duplicate the product.
Like, it doesn't sound like it's that big of an issue because, like, we're part of the community. We're like, oh, everyone can tell it's a bootleg. Of course, like, no one's gonna buy that. You'd be surprised.
They put a lot of work into these bootlegs to make it
I
convincing.
You would be
honestly,
surprised.
I used to say that too. I used to be like, no, come on, no one's gonna actually buy that. I might have even said that on the podcast at some point too. No, but no, we looking it up and to seeing how these things are perpetuated, how they're developed, and how many people buy them. It's a bigger deal than you would.
It's honestly
It was really
funny.
eye-opening to me earlier this year because, I know last year, I wanted to, I had some excess money lying around and I said, I want to buy a Lego set. And I thought there were some Marvel superhero ultra builds that I always wanted to buy, but I didn't buy them when they were on shelves. Maybe I can check eBay. And I was looking on eBay if there was a good deal. I did end up finding them eventually, but it took me an incredibly long time because there were a weirdly large amount of bootlegs being sold on
there's
eBay.
so many, especially
eBay is
minifigures.
filled with bootlegs.
It's a big deal now. Like,
it's a big
It
deal.
didn't used to
You
be.
check out
but
my
it is now, and
Comic-Con.
It's not just for superheroes, but everything.
My
they do it
Comic-Con,
for Hero Factory
video.
builds too. If you're going to try and fight old Hero Factory sets, you better be careful because there are a lot of Hero Factory bootlegs that you will accidentally buy thinking you're getting a good deal.
Yeah, and there's like Ninjago Ultra builds that apparently came from somewhere. There's also like minifigures. And if you look at my New York Comic Con video, you can see me walk past a booth that has all these like Lego superhero minifigures. A lot of those are bootlegs.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
I didn't
no, there are a lot of them. There's a Thing minifigure that's never been released. There's different like comic book exclusive stuff. There's like there's a
Okay, so yeah, those aren't even real Lego sets.
there's a Mr. Fantastic set. Those are not real Lego minifigures, and they're being sold as they are. And that's actually a huge deal within the Lego community that's come up. Is that people are selling these people go to conventions and sell these comic book themed minifigures as if they're like just official Lego ones that have just they bought and they're reselling. No, some of them are just
I've
they're
seen
completely
those
bootleg.
in person before, like at a convention.
Yeah.
Yep, and they're less quality and
they're
taking away from
I didn't
what Lego
include
can
it in
give
the
you.
autopsy video, but I meant to. I've seen I had a couple of reviews I actually saw on some Lego Friends sets from like people that clearly didn't buy what they thought they were buying.
Right.
They thought it was an official Lego set, and they were like, "Oh, I just realized this isn't Lego Friends."
Wow.
And like,
it's
obviously,
not the kids; it's the parents. It's always the parents that buy that kind of stuff.
Definitely. It's like, when you're a parent, you don't even, a lot of parents don't even know that there's not, their Lego is just all the blocks. The same how, there used to be a point in time where parents would call all video games Mario, get off that Mario game.
Right.
And you're like,
Yeah.
I'm playing Uncharted, where there's nothing.
get off that Nintendo game. Back then, Nintendo was apparently synonymous
With video
Mario
games.
and Nintendo were video games. They were the face of video games. And so basically,
Lego?
it's the same thing. Lego is the
Lego's just
face
a brick.
of blocks. Yeah. Any Mega Blocks, any of the knockoff Creo, people will just be like, oh yeah, no, that's Lego. And you're like, well, it's not. Parents
And obviously,
parents will buy the
let's-
tanks and stuff and be like, oh, I saw this cool Lego set that you might enjoy. And you're like, not Lego. I appreciate the thought though. You're very kind. I appreciate that you're thinking of me, but man, you don't know anything about these, the quality.
And also, let's say, obviously, we're not stupid. Leaks are not the only reason why bootlegs happen, and if you got rid of leaks, there will still be bootlegs.
Right.
But the leaks help those along.
Right. And see,
They
that's
give
the
them an
issue.
edge.
That's the issue because leaks really put Lego in a negative position. And I gotta say, it's been, for me personally, it's been really hard reporting on leaks after, having so many cool conversations with, Merlin Mann.
See, that was the thing I was going to get into. We've talked with Merlin Mann.
We went to New York
I went to New York
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con. I met Tommy Anderson.
We were in a freaking party with all these people, with all these Lego employees. They gave us sets for free. It's just I feel personally really bad that we keep reporting on these things that actively hurt these people.
Right.
Yeah. We go to this crazy event that Lego puts on for the Bionicle fan elite, and they, like, give us all sorts of cool stuff. And then we go home and we stab them in the back by helping their competitors.
Yeah, we help
That's
out
what
their
we do.
competitors.
Let's be real.
We ruin the personal attachment some of the fans have on these sets and their opinions of the sets. Like it's just
We ruin our own
we ruin our own
attachment by
attachment. It's not even
we
fun for
feed
us.
into the
Okay,
yes.
granted, now, obviously we've never, like, I don't think we've, outside of maybe finding out that the Toa Mata were the name to the sets last year, like on that Russian site, the initial Bionicle leak didn't start with it. So, you know, like, we, technically speaking, that wasn't a thing where, you know, we would have, like,
Right, but
we would have still
20,000
gotten
people
out
are
of
able
but
to
we helped
find that through
perpetuate
us.
that a lot.
Right,
That we had a lot to
exactly.
do with that.
Yeah.
And that ruined the reveal that they were going to have at Comic-Con. They were going to plan to do this giant reveal where Bionicle was coming back. And that was already, like, you know, it was pre-leaked months and months ahead of time, back in, like, what, July, August?
Right.
And, I mean, we had our
all
fair
the information,
we
all the
jumped
information
on
they
that.
gave at Comic-Con,
Yeah.
all that information at Comic-Con, that was all leaked on that document
Yeah.
that showed up on our board.
Right. Okoto,
Imagine
Merlin
for
Man,
a
all that
moment
stuff.
here if Bionicle had not leaked and we had gone to New York Comic Con and we had been in that panel that we were in, and they had pulled out the Toa Mata for the first time and been like, "These were the sets you were getting."
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. That would have been so awesome.
They had staged that reveal for a reason, I think. It, like, obviously it had leaked way before then, but imagine for a moment if it hadn't.
Right, because
Right, yeah.
everything, if you look
I don't
at
know.
everything is built in the main booth to not tell you that the Toa Mata are coming back yet. And then you go to the panel, and then they're like, all right, we're also bringing back the original Toa, and then you see Tahu, and people are going
That's
crazy.
so true, because like the Toa weren't even they weren't even on display until after that
After,
presentation.
yeah, right. And
Yep.
granted, I mean, a lot of stuff that came afterwards, we did those, the toy, like, you know, we did the previews, the set previews that year. That was okayed by Lego. We asked those people there if we could do
Yeah,
that.
we asked them if we could do
But I mean, like, you know, no, that's not to kind of formulate an excuse, because we immediately jumped upon the leaks as soon as they came out. We used them, you know,
Yeah.
we reported on them, we did everything. We've been very supportive, quote unquote, you know, in that sense that we are perpetuating the leaks around, we are perpetuating the leak culture quite a lot. In fact, I would say that we are the majority of the Bionicle leak culture up until now. That's where, you
Right
know,
now, I would
are.
agree with you. I think our boards are
I've
leak
built
central.
my entire, like, thing on the internet in terms of leak culture.
right.
That's what I love to do. That's what I've done for 6 years.
Right. And so now, like, after seeing all this stuff up close, the main things that have changed is that we've had a lot more, we've gotten a lot closer with, you know, our community, and we've started our own community, and we've seen the effects it had.
Yeah,
that.
I think perspective is
Right.
what's really made this decision
Right.
like as prevalent.
The message boards and becoming, like, actually talking to people that work
Talking
at
to
Lego.
people look at Lego, and
For
also
me.
like looking at like how our discussions have changed over the years in our podcast, and how much stuff has dated and all that stuff. That all contributing to itself has made this giant mountain of you know, discussion that
Yeah.
we've had this entire year. Like, should we stop doing this or shouldn't we? And
There are no benefits to leaks for us. Some people
Right.
may enjoy them, but for us, it's nothing but negative. We feel bad about it because we're hurting the company we support. We waste our time on the podcasts with irrelevant info. We waste our community's time by having them discuss irrelevant info and become fascinated by this leak stuff, disregarding currently released sets and information. Then they get duped by fakes super easily.
Yeah.
And then we feed into bootlegs as well.
And the thing is, we
It's like nothing.
haven't even addressed the fact that it's freaking illegal.
That's also a big
everything
thing.
we've said so far has all been like this moral stuff, but like it's illegal
right.
to keep posting these like images with confidential markings. It's illegal.
And again, or
And
listen,
that's the main reason, like, that why we were cutting down on the spread of pictures. That's what we're doing right now.
Right.
But you can still discuss the pictures. You just can't
it's
link
a
to
policy
them.
that's been adopted by other sites in the past. Like Eurobricks has this policy, for example. BZ Powers is a bit of a stricter one. Because so much of our, the community is accustomed to doing that. We've decided to go Eurobricks policy instead, because that's been, I wouldn't necessarily say approved by Lego, but it's like Eurobricks is a very long established site, and this is what we're very close to one of the moderators there, and we've been talking about what the policies that they have and that kind of thing. So we've elected to go with that for the meantime, unless an employee from Lego or someone from Lego was to contact us and ask us to completely remove it. In which case,
And that is the
we will argue.
stipulation I would like to say. It's nothing permanent, because
Right.
if Lego ever does contact us for anything. We're open to changing it, but nobody's contacted us.
Yeah, I mean,
This is
that's
not-
always been our thing too. Like whenever we have posted leaks, we were always under the mindset that if Lego ever contacted us and told us to take it down, we would.
Right, and not even like in the sense of like a cease and desist order, just like a friendly email being like, "Hey, if you could just not do this, that would be great." Yeah, sure, it's gone. We don't need a lawyer to tell us to remove that kind of thing. We're not going to be like that defiant or anything.
And
no, we
guys do
will
need to keep in
comply
mind,
with
Lego does.
Lego as much as possible.
Lego absolutely sends out cease and desist letters as well.
Yeah, when they feel
have
it's
in the
necessary,
past.
they absolutely have.
They do.
Yeah.
You're completely right.
And they've been extraordinarily gracious. And we know for a fact that at some point these employees, like who talked to us at New York Comic Con? Was it the project?
It was
Steen Lindenberg.
Yeah, Steen Lindenberg.
I think at that point he was like the marketing director or some
Yeah,
high
he
level
walked up to
marketing.
us and he was just like, "So, you guys gonna make a podcast after this?" I was like, "Ah."
It's like
Awesome.
it's
He
so
knows we make
great that
podcasts,
they.
he watches our podcast, and
Right.
then we go home and then we like leak their stuff online and we perpetuate.
We
No, so we didn't even go home to leak their stuff. We were leaking stuff the day
We went to the
off.
hotel. We went back to the hotel
on the
and ate
hotel.
microwave pizza while we finished leaking these
don't
things.
get us started on your microwave pizza. But no,
Okay, let's not get
to
started.
clarify, however, we weren't necessarily leaking things. We were just discussing the
Well, yeah, okay.
leaks.
And the reason why we say this is
That is
not
the
to
important
necessarily point that as an excuse, but just as a frame of mindset. We didn't go into this ever with the idea of let's make sure Lego's competition gets more time to do their thing and steal money.
No.
Let's make sure that, the community is misled and all that kind of thing. That was never the mindset going into it. But we also realized this, that it's a result of it over time.
To use a Bionicle analogy, not a Bionicle analogy, but like terminology, we're just but a gear in the system up till this point. We have been one part of the Bionicle community.
We've been a
just
pretty
another
big
channel.
gear in the leak community. Let's not try to
that's
shy away
the point
from
I'm getting
the
to.
causation.
That's the point I'm getting to. I'm like, we're in a community that is fascinated by this leak culture more so than other branches of Lego, I think, because of the like story-based nature of Bionicle. People are more inclined to overanalyze and discuss things. So like, we've just been in this community up till this point. This is just what people do. This was just something that we did as part of the community. But as we have grown and as we have become, I don't mean to boast or whatever. Honestly, that's not what I'm trying to do. But as we have become one of the leaders in the community, I feel.
Right.
We've taken on we should have more responsibility, I think.
That was the thing that a
think
lot
we
of
should.
people complained, that have complaints of this or have problems with this. That's a big
Yeah.
thing to say.
That's one of the biggest criticisms
right.
we've
We have
received
an
from other
influence in
people.
the community, and we don't, instead of using it in the in a way that to help benefit Lego and help benefit the community and help do everything at large, we're just an extension of it. We're just part of the problem that the larger community has. We don't try to change anything. We don't try to set an example for anything. With the large
We're just
platform that we
content
have.
to make our videos and ride off all the views.
I mean, and
Right.
and
like that's the thing. Like
Right.
it's hard to make excuses for it. Like we don't want to because like we got to own up to the fact
Right.
that we kind of sucked so far.
This is
Yeah.
it's part of the thing that we're like, we can't change what we've done in the past, but we can make a promise to change things going into the future. We can start setting examples. We can start changing the way we work. A lot of people are very set in their ways. A lot of companies, a lot of websites, a lot of everything are very set in their ways. And that goes for, a lot of the larger sites. IGN, for example, will never take away ratings, even though I think having ratings on video games, having numbers is kind of a detrimental thing. That kind of
It's
thing
incredibly
is, right.
detrimental.
And so we don't want to be that kind of people that are always stagnant, or a company that's always been like, yes, this got us to where we were. We're not going to, for the sake of popularity, for the sake of our audio, getting view numbers on our breaking news, leaked, pictures, videos. We want to be fluid. We want to change. We want to show that we do actually take criticism. We take it to heart and we debate over everything before we, make a huge change. And this is a huge change. And I mean, it could possibly have a negative effect in how many views we get. Some people might unsubscribe because they're no longer going to get, the leaked information from us. Some people might, stop watching our videos.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's important.
I'm sure some people will.
Make no mistake, we are very aware of the position that this is putting us in.
Right. And
we
I
understand
fully
a
expect
lot of
to see that.
people are subscribed to our channel solely for access to leaks.
Right.
We're not ignorant of that fact.
Right. Some people just they think that we're not funny and that we're
Right.
bored, they're terrible, but they want to
We
know what's
fully
coming.
understand those people will leave once
These
we
people
stop posting
will
leaks.
see a comment and be
And-
like, "Well, you had me, but after this, I have no reason to subscribe. And I also know that someone will go and fill our void too. As much as we're going to take away, let's face it, someone is going to, there's going to be some other places.
Another channel is going to pop up.
Another channel is going to pop up.
Leaks.
Maybe a thread on Reddit will continue to perpetuate this. There will always be leaks, and we aren't technically curing the system by not saying anything about it. We're not that
we're not
that arrogant to be
in
like
this age of
everybody's
social media. You don't need us anyway.
Right.
That's true.
We can step away.
Yeah. So we're just choosing to step away from this machine, from this culture, to take a step back and be like, we're not going to participate in this.
Rage against the machine.
Anymore. We're no longer going to be part of this.
Power.
Fight the power, man.
So, what have we learned here today? That this is your brain?
That we're a bunch of hypocrites?
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, like...
we should, just start, figuring out what comments we're going to see already. Like, oh, you guys are a bunch of hypocrites, or...
Yeah,
Yes.
No, listen, we are not... Well, I mean,
you guys are taking away our freedom of
no, you guys are filled with all this PC crap.
And
we're going to get that
We are now social justice warriors
What's
now.
that, Belgium?
Because we have, we're complying with illegal...
What, LJ?
Yeah,
Shut up.
no, I was just going to joke, LJ sucks, and...
Yeah,
that's just a normal comment.
You shushed me so that you could hear that?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, recap.
It's okay.
Let's do a brief recap of what our new policy is.
Okay.
And we're going to post.
Go ahead and do that.
Right.
Okay. You will not be allowed to post confidential preliminary images of any kind on the TTV message boards. That includes catalog images with the confidential markings. That includes, it sounds like a weird stipulation to make, but like logos or images or posters with confidential markings. Those two. Transparent images found on shop sites online with confidential markings. None of that. As far as things that do not require confidential markings, do not have, those will be more of a case-by-case basis because, for instance, some things, finalized images, or stuff found on Lego's server, is obviously okay. But things like the documentation from last year, that didn't necessarily have a confidential mark, but we would not have allowed that either.
Right, it's
so
implied
the right to handle everything.
Right.
Implied confidentiality. And we'll handle situations like those where there's a gray area on a case-by-case basis. Obviously, we can't expect everybody to have the same logic as we do, but this is our channel and this is our message boards, so we can do that.
But generally, if you find an image that doesn't have a confidential marking on it, you are probably okay to post it.
Right.
And for us to report on it as well, because that's the other thing.
We will. Okay, that's another. Yeah, we will report on those images, the ones that don't have confidential markings.
Right, and that's the thing that I think almost every other news source in the community does is that
it's stuff like name lists as well. That's another thing we should mention.
Right.
Name lists of sets. If they're from a catalog that somebody illegally got the hold of, we probably won't report on those. If they're posted on Amazon.com,
if they're posted on a website, then we'll probably report on it.
If they're on the store
if someone was
site,
stupid and accidentally posted it, then that's out there, so we might as well report
Fair
it.
game.
We have to date. We've also I don't believe we've ever reported on a link that turned out to be fake. I don't believe, right? Have we ever made a video about a leak that wasn't true? I don't believe we have.
We have brought stuff up in the context of an episode, but we have never made a news
I mean, we brought ghost stuff, but it was under the impression that we all knew it was fake.
We thought
there's been no breaking news about a thing that turned out to be fake.
Well, that's the other thing we didn't really touch upon after this year with all the fake leaks. It's only going to get worse from here on out.
It is, and
now that people saw it and that people bought it, it's only going to get worse.
And let's not.
We're just not.
Let's also be aware too. We're not the only community that has leaks or anything. If you look at the comic book movie community, that fan base, stuff gets leaked there all to an insane degree. Yeah, and the point where I feel like it ruins a lot of stuff. Like, how cool would it be to get revealed that Captain America's Civil War is going to be the title of the new movie at D23, as opposed to having it come out in Latino review 2 months ago, Yeah, there's all this things
to be fair, it got posted on Variety, I think, and then it came out at a Marvel convention, not at D23, but I get what you mean.
Yeah, right, but it was the Marvel. It was the Marvel meeting. Yeah, I guess it wasn't D23. It was the Marvel. They had a thing, and it was supposed to be a big event.
Doesn't matter. Let's wrap up, please.
But anyway,
essentially,
what we need to say is
look at our leak policy.
You can still. Yes, look at our leak policy. You can find this in the TTV message boards, as well as our announcement video posted a couple days ago on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube. And you can expect us to reiterate this point on the podcast, because I'm sure there will be a lot of drama in the comments section.
Obviously. And also, obviously, most of this will be written down in the description. And be sure to watch all of our other videos, our announcement video, and autopsy as well.
Right.
Those all kind
Yep.
of cover this.
Right.
And just remember, well, it'll be in bold, but like you up to for now, you're still allowed to discuss leaked imagery on the TTV message boards. Just don't post it. Don't post pictures. Don't give links. Don't do anything.
Right. And now,
So
now it's
people know where to find it at this point.
It's at a point now where we are past the 2016 season. All the official stuff is out for 2016. So now you know that anything, people will be like, oh, what about images that we posted about prior? They're no longer around. From now on, anything about summer 2016 is off the table. All the stuff that, you might have posted beforehand, all those catalogs, we're not going to punish you for that. But anything from now on about the new sets incoming, you can't do that. You can't post about it.
And you know when we're gonna get pictures anyway with the summer sets. Toy Fair.
Right.
You can look forward in late January. We will have pictures of the sets in person.
Official, not official
wait
pictures,
till
but
then.
like legal pictures,
And with that being said, legal pictures you can talk about in post. So with that being said, I think this may be our longest TTV Talks ever.
It is, because you guys like to talk a lot.
That's kind of our channel, LJ. Kind of our thing.
So, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for following us. Thank you very much for all your support, and we hope that the majority of our audience will be understanding about this. And to those of you who are disappointed by this and may become disillusioned and may leave, I understand. We wish you well. Thank you for following us when you did, but we will not be returning to our old ways. We are resolute in this.
I want to see how long you can go.
We'll see you all next week for the next exciting TTV Talks about a later issue. Until then, I'm Messenger.
I'm Vardaran.
I'm LJ.
And I'm Kahi.
And farewell, everybody.
Adios.